Morningstar, the Disney princess of the underworld, the wide-eyed optimist who wants to take the literal scum of the earth and turn them into saints. For most fans, she is the moral heart of the show. We're told she's a hero. We're told her heart is too big for hell. But what if everything we love about Charlie is exactly what makes her a monster? What if the Hazbin Hotel isn't a sanctuary, but a re-education camp? Behind that Disney princess smile lies a character who is a spiritual colonizer, a moral hypocrite, and a savior who cares more about her own conscience than the people she claims to serve. We're looking at the uncomfortable truth about Charlie Morningstar and why she might be the most dangerous person in the afterlife. To understand why Charlie is a villain, you first have to look at her bank account. Charlie isn't a sinner. She was born in hell, but she isn't of hell. She's the daughter of the king. Charlie has never known the hunger of a soul contract. She has never been hunted by an exorcist. She has never had to sell her body or her soul just to survive a Tuesday. She lives in a literal palace while the people she's helping live in a war zone. When Charlie looks at a sinner like angel dust, she doesn't see a person shaped by systemic trauma. She sees a project. This is the classic white savior trope played out in the spiritual realm. Charlie is a billionaire telling homeless people to just be happy. She's a princess telling victims of a broken system that their only problem is their attitude. She doesn't want to fix hell. She doesn't want to stop the overlords or dismantle the hierarchy that makes people suffer. She just wants them to be better so she doesn't have to feel sad looking at them. Now, let's compare Charlie to the people she claims are the problem, the overlords. Characters like Carmilla Carmine are portrayed as the height of hell's cruelty, but they are honest. They operate on a system of contracts, a literal meritocracy of the macabre. You know where you stand with an overlord, but Charlie offers grace with invisible strings attached. When an overlord takes your soul, they own your labor. When Charlie saves your soul, she owns your identity. She is trying to monopolize the very concept of goodness. She is the ultimate overlord, but instead of soul contracts, she uses royal decree and emotional manipulation. She's the landlord of morality, and she's raising the rent on everyone who isn't a princess. She isn't giving these people freedom. She's giving them a new, friendlier cage. Look at the redemption process itself. It's not therapy, it's conditioning. Charlie's method for saving souls is to force them into a kindergarten-style environment where they are punished for expressing their natural, demonic instincts. She doesn't address why angel dust is an addict. She just wants them to smile and be nice. This is moral imperialism. Charlie has decided that heaven's rules, the same rules that allow for the yearly slaughter of her people, are the only valid rules. By trying to redeem sinners, she is effectively saying that their culture, their identity, and their experiences as residents of hell are invalid. You must become a carbon copy of an angel to have value. She isn't saving their lives, she's erasing their souls to make them marketable for the pearly gates. It's spiritual assimilation, and it is horrifying. And then there's Vaggie. The show frames their relationship as the ultimate romance, but if we look at it through a darker lens, it's the ultimate proof of Charlie's hypocrisy. Vaggie was an exorcist, a literal genocidal soldier who spent centuries slaughtering Charlie's people. Does Charlie hold her accountable? Does Charlie ask for justice for the millions Vaggie murdered? No, because Vaggie validated Charlie's ego. This reveals Charlie's true moral compass. She doesn't actually care about the victims of the extermination. She cares about the people who support her vision. If you're a murderer who loves Charlie, you're redeemable. If you're a sinner who questions Charlie, you're difficult. This isn't a hotel. It's a cult of personality. Instead of building an army, instead of tearing down the gates, or even just trying to make hell a better place to live, Charlie's solution is to beg for entry. She is essentially saying to the exorcists that they are right to kill her people. By seeking redemption through heaven's bureaucracy, she validates the extermination. She admits that being a demon is an inherent flaw that needs to be cured. She is a princess who would rather see her people assimilated into the culture of their murderers than fight for their right to exist as they are. She's not a revolutionary, she's a collaborator. Let's look at her father, Lucifer. He gave humanity free will and was cast down for it. But Charlie is doing the exact opposite. She is trying to limit the free will of Hell's citizens. She wants to take the chaotic, free, and messy existence of the sinner and force it back into the rigid, orderly box of heaven. By trying to make everyone good by her definition, she is essentially undoing her father's legacy. Fans pointed to Sir Pentious getting into heaven as proof that Charlie was right, but look closer. Pentious didn't get into heaven because he became a better person. He got into heaven because he sacrificed his life for Charlie's dream. He became a martyr for a royal's hobby. And now Pentious is in a place where he has to spend eternity conforming to a strict, holy hierarchy while his friends back in hell are still being hunted. Is that a victory? Or is that the ultimate betrayal of his identity? Charlie used him. She used his desire for belonging to turn him into a weapon for her own political agenda with heaven. And the worst part, she's proud of it. The structural failure of the hotel is perhaps its most glaring sin. Even if Charlie succeeds, she is only saving people one by one. In a city of millions, her hotel is a drop in a bucket of blood, but she doesn't care about the millions. She cares about the optics of her success. She is ignoring the systemic poverty and violence that create sinners in the first place, because fixing those things would require her to give up her own power. If hell became a functional, safe society, Charlie wouldn't be needed as a savior. She needs hell to be miserable so that her light looks brighter. Charlie Morningstar is a good person in the same way a colonizer thinks they are a good person. She wants to help, but she only wants to help on her terms. She wants the glory of being a savior without ever acknowledging her own complicity in the hierarchy that keeps her at the top. If Charlie succeeds, hell doesn't get better. It just gets smaller. It becomes a waiting room for a heaven that still hates them. She's the most dangerous kind of villain, the one who believes they are a saint. But next time you see Charlie Morningstar singing about rainbows and hope, ask yourself, who is that song really for? Her people or her own ego? Let me know in the comments if you're brave enough to go against the Morningstar.